The next thing that I'm going to do is I need to mark where my foundation is going to go. This is important because when you make the holes for your windows and your doors, because essentially what we're doing is punching a hole in, you will need to know where the bottom of your door is and also where the top of your door is. Well, I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to use the measuring tape tool, and I'm going to go to the edge on the bottom there, and I'm going to pull up. So make sure that you're in the blue axis there, and I'm going to type in 1 foot, so 1 apostrophe, and hit enter. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Do the same thing here. Remember that when you pull this, you always want to have that red box. Here I pulled over using inferencing to be at 1 foot, so I know that's at 1 foot. And I'm going to go around the building and do the same thing. You can always check your measurements in the box. So now I've marked where the floor of the interior of my house is going to be. This 1 foot is the foundation or the pad that we're building off of. Then I need to go back and I can see the heights now of the windows that I wanted to use. Here we have some heights. I think I might start with my doors here. My doors are all 7 feet, so I think I'm going to start with my sliders and my front door. I'm going to go back to my model. Now I'm going to start to create the holes to make the holes for where my sliders and my doors are going to go. I'm going to come here and pick up from where the foundation stops, and I'm going to click and drag a guideline. These are sliders and they are 7 feet. So I'm just going to type in 7 feet. And then I have another slider over here. I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to type in 7 feet for that too. Here's my other door, and that is also at 7 feet. If you get nervous or you feel like this isn't working when you use the inference string, just make sure that you're on that blue axis and you type in the height of your door. So now I've got my door and my 2 slider openings here. Before I start with the windows, I'm just going to finish with the doors. The next thing you're going to do in order to make the hole is you're going to take your pencil tool. You're going to come into the intersection where the guideline meets the edge of the opening for the width of the door, and you're going to click and drag across, making sure that the line is snapping to the proper axis, in this case the green axis. And then I'm going to click to end, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the same thing. You'll notice that when I cut this with the pencil tool, I've now cut up these shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reverse these faces on the top and bottom here. I can also do this one if I really want to, although it's not totally necessary. You can see now that when I click the surface, I am now clicking that space. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to use my push-pull tool. The walls are 6 inches. When I click and I push through and type in 6 inches and hit enter, if it doesn't go all the way through like that, you can just select it again and click delete and it should go through. Now I can start to see through my house. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the next 2 slider windows. Now I'm going to push and pull that through. Click and push. Now I can see into the bedroom. Those are the doors. For my windows, the highest window I have is 6 feet, but I may want those windows, especially these up here, to be a little higher than 6 feet. I want these smaller windows to just bring light in. Because it's 9 feet, I'm going to pull a guideline from the top of my wall and bring it down 1 foot. Now, for these higher windows at least, and probably for the other ones, I'm going to make the tops are all at the 8-foot mark. Now I'm going to click on the edge and I'm going to drag down, because this is the short window, 1 foot and then space 6 inches. This is where that window is going to do. Now, before things start to get really confusing, I'm just going to start to erase a few of these guidelines that I don't really need anymore. Now I'm going to come in with my pencil tool. I'm going to go ahead and make the opening for that window. Using my push-pull tool, push that in, and I'm going to type in 6 inches, and I'm probably going to have to click and select that and click delete. I'm going to reverse these faces. Now I'm going to go all the way around my building and make the holes for my windows and doors. The other thing that you should be doing is once you have the hole for your window and door, go in with the eraser tool and get rid of those little extra lines that you have from when you pulled them up. And you have to do both the front surface and the back surface. So that means that you're going to have to flip it over and go in and erase the lines both on the front and on the back. Later on, we're going to move this floor up, but we won't do that until after we are done putting in all the holes. I'm going to do that. I'll fast forward that part. If you can get this much done, then save it and download a copy and then upload that into the Google Classroom so I can see your work.